Power Rangers Royal Britannia, The New Generation, Episode 5. Things are changing. Wes sat beside the motionless form of Morgana Lefay. For weeks she had laid there, unmoving, ever since the moment just before the multiversal crisis began. Then, at last, she stirred. Her fingers twitched, her eyes opened. "Morgana, what happened? Are you okay?" Wes asked quickly, leaning forwards. Morgana blinked slowly, her vision adjusting to the dim-lit cave. She pushed herself upright, brushing strands of her dark hair from her face. "I'd ask the same question," she said dryly. "What happened after I passed out? How long has it been?" Before Wes could answer, 2 dark coins that had been resting beside them lifted gently into the air. Their surfaces shimmered with ancient energy. Whispering voices filled the cave. "All ended," whispered the Leviathan coin. "Everything, everyone, bones." The second coin flickered with a surge of energy. "We were alone again," muttered the Fenrir coin. Wes frowned, remembering the horror he had seen. "I watched it," he said quietly. "The Rangers, they were colourless, hollow, like the life had been drained out of them. And the Zords," he shook his head. "I've never seen Zords like that before." Morgana studied him carefully. "No matter," she said after a moment, regaining her composure. "If we are here now, I assume the matter was resolved." A faint, mocking smile appeared on her lips. "No small part played by the Red Cornish Ranger, I imagine." Wes sighed, but didn't argue. Morgana gathered her senses, feeling the lingering tension of reality settling back into place. Then Wes spoke again. "Why did you pass out?" Morgana gave a small shrug. "I, much like Merlin, am sensitive to the multiverse." Wes blinked. "What, you have a link like he does?" Morgana gave a short laugh. "Oh, no, goodness, no," she said dismissively. "I would never consort with my other selves across the multiverse." Her expression darkened slightly. "But Merlin and I are kin of sorts." Morgana walked slowly across the cave, her boots scraping lightly against the stone. "Things feel different, somehow," Morgana continued. Yes, like last time. Something has changed," said the Leviathan coin. "Yes, I see," said Morgana. Wes frowned. "What? Nothing's changed. Everything went back to normal. Didn't it?" "You wouldn't notice the difference," Morgana replied calmly. "Even I am not completely immune to the changes. However, there has been alterations, and I believe I know why, and who is responsible." Atop Oscorp Tower, Norman Osborn sat behind his desk, examining his recent acquisition. A dark figure appeared in the room. "Ah, Morgana Lefay. I wondered when you would appear." She raised her hand, silencing him. "I will only speak to the puppet master, not the dummy." Osborn's expression shifted, irritation flashing across his face before it twisted into a cold smile. "And what do you want, witch?" he said. "Much better, goblin." "I have recently awoken from a deep sleep," she replied. "It's always good to be well rested," said the goblin. "We have known each other ever since I took power of the Nega Grid. And yet," she continued. "And yet what?" asked the goblin. "Things do not seem right. Do you know that both the wizard Merlin and I are sensitive to changes in reality. The goblin sneered but did not answer. So imagine how I felt awakening with all this new knowledge, she continued. I would guess it's a little disorientating, said the goblin. This power is known only to a few mystics, watchers, and similar beings. How did you manage to divine it? Asked Morgana. The goblin smiled. He walked across the room and pulled a cloth off a curved object on a pedestal. Beneath it sat a glowing orb. This, he said. I discovered it and used it. The orb shimmered softly. The orb of affinity, Morgana said, studying it. But even with that, you will require something more. Your knowledge is greater than I expected, the goblin replied. Yes, I required a keystone of sorts, to blend everything together. Surprisingly easy to acquire, when you think about it. Yes, and now what is your plan? Morgana asked, as she glanced at the paper spread across the desk. She picked up one briefly, before setting it back down. Interesting. So you are building a force to take control. Or govern, the goblin corrected, whichever proves easier. And you have 2 out of, she inquired. Technically 3, the goblin said, pausing as he studied Morgana carefully. Mythology speaks much of you, your ambition, your tenacity. I know, I cannot trust you with my full plan, just as you will not trust me with yours, said the goblin. Very true, Morgana replied, but for now, our agendas are the same, and the one thing that stands in our way is the Rangers, said Morgana. I do not concern myself with the Ranger Council, the goblin said, but the Royal Britannia Rangers and their pet spider could become a problem, Morgana replied. The goblin smiled. One we shall solve, he said slowly, as partners. The streets erupted in panic as Leviathan, Fenrir, Time Force, and the Nega Queen attacked the city. Rampaging beside them was a massive grey-skinned humanoid rhino. Osborne wasn't lying. This is fun, shouted the rhino. This is only the beginning, said the Leviathan Nega Ranger. The real fun is just starting, added the Fenrir Nega Ranger. Suddenly, 5 figures teleported into the street in a flash of light, landing in a defensive stance. The Power Rangers, Royal Britannia, and Spider-Man stood ready to defend the city.